want to differentiate y equals quantity x cubed minus 7x squared to the fourth times 1 plus 9x to the 1/2. I'm going to let this be f and that be g. So we have f prime g plus g prime f. Okay, now for the derivative of f, we want to apply the chain rule. So the outside function will be to the power 4. So we're going to bring that down, keep the inside the same, subtract 1 in the exponent, and then multiply by the derivative of the inside. So the derivative of x cubed minus 7x squared. Okay, so that's going to be f prime. We're going to multiply that by g, which is 1 plus 9x to the 1/2 power. And then we're going to take the derivative of g. So derivative of g. Here we have to use chain rule again. So we're going to bring down the power, keep everything the same in the inside, subtract 1 in the exponent, then multiply by the derivative of the inside. So the derivative of 1 plus 9x is 9. Okay, so that's g prime. And finally, we're going to multiply it by f. So it's x cubed minus 7x squared to the fourth. Okay. Now we're going to simplify. So I have 4 times x cubed minus 7x squared cubed. The derivative of x cubed minus 7x squared is 3x squared minus 14x, and then times 1 plus 9x to the 1/2 power, plus 9 times a half is 9/2 to the 1 plus 9x to the negative 1/2 power, and then times x cubed minus 7x squared to the fourth. We can do some simplifying here. So let's see what we can factor out. We have a x cubed minus 7x squared. This one is raised to the third power. This is raised to the fourth power. We always find, or we always get the one that's to the smallest exponent. So in other words, 3 in this case. And then we have 1 plus 9x to the 1/2, 1 plus 9x to the negative 1/2. So this one we're going to pick the smaller exponent, which is to the negative 1/2 power. So let me just fix this parentheses. We'll have 1 plus 9x to the negative 1/2 power. And if we want, we can do something with the coefficients here, but I don't see the point. So, okay, so we'll just ignore that. So we have 4 times 3x squared minus 14x, and then plus, or actually before that, we need to multiply by 1 plus 9x. Okay, since this is to the positive 1/2 power. So the difference between the 1/2 and negative 1/2 is just 1. That's why we're going to have 1 plus 9x to the first power here. And then plus 9/2, and all that's left is the x cubed minus 7x squared. So if you really want, you can FOIL out this thing and then distribute the 4, and then also distribute the 9/2, but that's plenty of simplification for us. given y equals secant squared of x to the fourth times tangent cubed of x to the fourth. We'll let secant squared x to the fourth be f, tangent cubed x to the fourth be g. We're looking for f prime g plus g prime f. So we take the derivative of y. So think of secant squared as secant and then squared. So then, because this clearly defines what's the outside function, which will be the squared. So for that, we're going to bring down the exponent, keep the inside the same, subtract 1 in the exponent, and then multiply it by the derivative of the inside. Okay, so this whole thing is just going to be f prime. We're going to multiply it by g. And then we're going to add it. So now we want to take the derivative of g. So tangent cubed x to the fourth can be rewritten like this. So the outside function will be the 3. Keep the inside the same. Subtract 1 in the exponent. Take the derivative of the inside. And then finally multiply it by f. Okay. All right. Now let's simplify. So the derivative of secant x to the fourth. So the outside function there is secant. So the derivative of secant is secant tangent. And what goes in the parentheses never changes. So that's going to be x to the fourth. And then multiply by the derivative of x to the fourth by chain rule is 4x cubed. And then we're going to multiply it by g, which is tangent cubed, x to the fourth, plus, now for the derivative of g, I have 3 tangent squared x to the fourth times the derivative of tangent x to the fourth. So the outside function there will just be tangent, which the derivative of tangent is secant squared. We're going to keep x to the fourth the same and then multiply by the derivative of x to the fourth. Then we're going to multiply that by f. Next, we're going to look at what both terms have in common. So they both have a secant x to the fourth. And here it's secant squared x to the fourth. So we're going to pick the smaller one, which will be just secant x to the fourth. Actually, we have 2 copies here. So this is another secant x to the fourth. So that's going to be squared. And then we have tangent x to the fourth. So this 1 tangent and this is cubed. So together it will be to the 4th power. And here we have tangent squared. So we'll pick the smaller one. Will be tangent squared. Next, so they have 4x cubed, 4x cubed. We'll include that. I think we included everything. Okay. So what's left? Let's see. We have 2, and then these guys will make tangent to the 4th. I have tangent squared, so that means I need another tangent squared. Then I need a 3. I need a, let's see, secant squared. I picked one of the secant squared, so I have another secant squared x to the 4th left by this thing. And that should be it, I believe. Yeah. And here there's really no need to simplify any further.